cold out there today, buddy. We gotta get this on you. Looking good. Yeah. What do you think? Are we ready to go outside? Let's go. 2 days ago it was like 75 degrees, and today it's right around 25. There's a very specific reason that we came here. Come on, Toby. The plan this weekend was to get on a state forest road and drive way back into the woods, find a campsite to have all to ourselves. The state of Minnesota and Mother Nature, they had different plans. Because of these crazy temperature swings, roads out here are just turning to slop. Most of these state forest roads are closed. The good news is there's a couple of state forests that have campgrounds right outside of the forests. That's where we're at today. This is a really good time to come out camping. And let me show you why. Not only is the campground going to be completely empty all weekend long, but there's not going to be any four-wheelers coming through here. It's going to be dead quiet. The plan this weekend? That's pretty easy. It's not to have a plan at all. We're just coming out here, enjoying Mother Nature. I'm bringing you with. I think we're going to get this fire going. Toby and I have been sitting inside, taking it easy. Oh, we all need to take it easy sometimes. Dry wood goes quick. I was right, it's quiet out here. Toby and I had quite the adventure this last Thursday. We were out on the Crow Wing River. I was going to be making a video, and I got to the campsite. It was about 65 degrees out, so I had my window rolled halfway down, and we were just setting up. Went to the back of the camper, put the slide out, went inside, started getting things ready, opening up the windows. Went back to the truck. Toby was gone. And if you've watched my other videos in the past, you know that Toby usually stays inside the truck. He doesn't come out unless I ask him to. But for one reason or another, he took off. I was scared. I tried to find his tracks in the campsite. Like I said, it was a really warm day and the snow had been melting, so there was a lot of mud. But he just up and disappeared. I couldn't find anything. After a couple hours, I really started to worry. So I called Mandi. She drove up to the campsite, which was a couple-hour drive. Her and Connor came up. So now all three of us were looking. We put on miles along the Crow Wing River. Couldn't find him. Stopped at multiple houses, asking neighbors if they've seen anything. I called up the sheriff's department, let them know that, I was at this campsite. My dog had been missing, and he's chipped, and he's got a tag with my number on it. I was scared. Mandi and Connor went one way up the river. I went the other and just walked for hours. Next thing you know, it's 9 o'clock, completely dark, and we're starting to get turned around in the woods. We meet back at the campsite, and Mandy's bawling her eyes out. Connor's trying to stay strong. I'm starting to get a lump in my throat because this is not looking good. She doesn't want to leave, but she's got to be up for work at 5 a.m. It's a couple-hour drive back home. I told her I would stay at that campsite as long as it took for me to find Toby. That night, I rolled the windows down in the truck, slept in the driver's seat. I figured if he came into camp late at night, I'd hear his collar jingling. So I'm sitting there in the dark, not able to sleep. Thought of coyotes and black bear going through my mind. And that's when I hear it. Sound of Toby's collar jingling as he comes into the campsite. Soaking wet, so of course he was down by the river. I get him into the passenger seat, turn the heater on, and we get home and I throw him in the bathtub. What an adventure. Batteries are getting so weak. I have to turn on the power station for a little bit. Made it get a little bit brighter in here. And the furnace kicked on. I think the fire is just about ready to throw a sausage on there for supper. Super simple tonight. Had these round eye steaks on sale for a couple of bucks. Thought that'd be a good treat for Toby. And then for me, I've got a cheddar brat and a wild rice brat and leftovers. I'm not really expecting too much from that steak. It's more or less for Toby. Maybe I'll have a few chunks for breakfast tomorrow with eggs. It's definitely not a good tender steak. But I'm sure Toby will appreciate it. Steak is not the best. It'll do though. There you are, bud. What do you think, Toby? Should we finish supper and just go to bed? That gives us a little bit of something for breakfast in the morning. I think this spot right here is where the camp host stays in the summertime. Looks like they have electricity. Wonder if it's still on. Snake electricity in the wintertime. It'd be awesome. I think this is going to be a score. I can hear the transformer humming and the meter's working. 120 volt plug, 30 amp. Check that out though. Fuse box is locked. Oh, but I mean, not very well. Person could easily just open that up and turn it on. That would be stealing. This is a nice campsite. You can see it's pretty open though. A couple of years back, a big storm came through, took out a bunch of trees. If you look around, you can still see some of the stumps. They really got it cleaned up nice though. This is what Toby usually does. He sticks pretty close to my side. If you have any suggestions on a decent tracking collar, that'd be nice. You just have to remember that, like the Apple AirTags and stuff, I mean, they work really well in populated areas, but there's going to be spots that I don't have anybody with another Apple phone to ping off Bluetooth for miles. For now, an AirTag might be better than nothing. When I was looking, I got like a 30-yard range. I'd be able to hear his collar within 30 yards. Maybe we'll get a fire going. They were saying we were going to get up to 50 degrees today. I don't think it's happening. I've got a t-shirt, a hoodie, and this fleece flannel. If it was any cooler, I have to go get a jacket. I think some neighbors down the road came for a little walk and they got their dogs with. Just seeing how Toby responds to them. So far, so good. Nice thing about this time of year, there's no mosquitoes out. The bad news is I got a bad habit of leaving my door open, which means the furnace is constantly running, which means my batteries are draining down. Like I told you this morning after running them all night long, here is the little tip. This is what I do. I had my uncle ask me yesterday how I'm able to keep the furnace powered all winter without running a generator all night. Well, here's how I do it. My power station, it's constantly charging the house batteries. I also have my computer plugged into it along with my camera equipment, and it draws about 200 watts. The power station's a 200 watt hour, so it'll last about 10 hours. The way that I charge the power station then is with the generator. The generator can charge the power station in about an hour and a half. It's got a 2.5 gallon gas tank, and it'll run for about 11 hours. So I don't bring any extra fuel with me. Honestly, the generator and that power station could get me by probably a week with 2.5 gallons of gas. And it starts every time. I've been saying for years that I really don't want to stick a ton of money into a lithium and solar setup on this camper. It's over 20 years old, and the cost of that stuff is more than I paid for this camper. But prices are coming down, and I see now that they have some cold weather options. Maybe this summer, it'll be something to take a look at. It all takes money. That I don't have. Lunch, I do. Let's take a look. Canadian bacon, cheese, pizza sauce. This idea came from down in the comments. It's probably a year ago. I used one of these irons to make a pie, and someone mentioned that they like to make pizzas in them, so that's what I'm going to try. I've got this fancy brioche bread. I didn't bring any butter, so I'm hoping that there's enough oil in that bread to toast it up. I'm going to go a layer Canadian bacon, then the sauce, then the cheese. Let's put it together. First up, I'm going to spray the tins with Pam. That should help toast them. And then we can build our pizza pocket. I'm not a big fan of pizza sauce. We're not going to go a whole lot on there. That's good enough. I do like cheese. Oh yeah. Now the tricky part, making sure this closes. Stay together now. We're locked and loaded. Let's go put this on the fire. I trimmed it up a little bit so we don't burn the bread. The coals look perfect. I have no idea how long this is going to take. Maybe I'll flip it in 5 and open it up and see what it looks like. Sounds like a plan. We got close to 50 degrees. It says it's 45 right now. Absolutely beautiful. In case you were wondering, I think there's like 27 campsites here total. Half of them are somewhat level. The other half are not level. But all in all, it's a pretty nice campsite. Vault toilets everywhere. I did notice a little bit of trash. And I think after lunch, Toby and I are going to walk around here, clean up all these spots, get them ready for the new season. Sound good, Toby? Looks like that sun has melted just about all the snow we had left. Well, let's check it out. Probably 8 minutes total. She got a little crispy. How about the other side? I mean, not too bad. For the first time, it's edible. We'll just get this back going again and have lunch. Oh, this thing's probably going to be hot. Perfect. It got a little burnt, but all in all, not too bad. What you didn't see is that it hit the ground before it hit the fire. So I got these little dirt particles going all the way around it, adding a little bit of extra crunch. But you want to try a little piece? Might have dirt on it. It's usually in the fire rings that I find the most trash. Not finding a lot of trash, which is nice. Campground host must have cleaned it up after they left. Check this out. They got their own dump station. Perfect. Just one small little pile. That was nice to see the campsite really clean, and the pile could have been from a group of fishermen. I'll say it again, right now is a perfect time to be camping in Minnesota. Cool temperatures, no bugs, empty campgrounds. It would have been nice to get on a state forest road, but honestly, who needs to go find a campsite when we got a whole campground to ourselves? And if you're just looking to get into camping for the first time and you're thinking that dispersed camping might be a little bit too much for you, right now is where you're gonna find all these campsites are empty. At least the ones I've been checking out anyways. I think we just about got this video in the bag. Again, if you have any tips on a decent GPS style tracker for Toby, let me know. We'll do this again next week. Until then, be kind, be honest. We'll see you down the road. Come on, Toby, get up. Let's go home. Good boy.